focus on your sleep, that is a huge act of self-love because that's an investment in your next day's energy, your next day's brain capacity, your ability to focus, your energy to work out and move your body. Everything. It all comes from your ability to focus and sleep on time and sleep with a really high quality sleep that fuels you for the next day.
Good morning and welcome to the Fusionary Health Podcast. I'm Dr. Shivani Gupta, and this is the podcast dedicating to recalibrating your health every day. My goal is to help you wake up each day energized by addressing root causes and giving you new approaches to preventive health. The more we know about integrative health, the more empowered we are in building the vibrant health we want.
Hello and welcome. It's me, Dr. Shivani Gupta. Welcome. So today's topic is 5 ways to naturally detox your own body in healthy, simple ways. I'm your host of the Fusionary Health Podcast, and I'm going to show you different ways we can apply self-care and self-love to help ourselves detox. This month happens to be the month of self-love, February, or you might be reading this or listening to this way later in the year. But I'm covering this topic because self-love is about as important as loving all the people around us. Because the more we can take care of ourselves, our health, and love our body, the more we have that capacity and that energy to take care of everyone else around us. So let's dive in. Ayurveda is an incredible system of health, healing, and medicine from India that's over 5,000 years old. And I have been passionate about Ayurvedic medicine for 20 years now. When I discovered Ayurveda and had it transform my health, I realized, wow, we have this incredible system and most people just have no idea that it exists. So I'm just going to scream it from the rooftops until everyone gets it, that this system has some great tools for us. And so today, when we dive into the self-care tools, these are easy, really inexpensive, nearly free tools that you can buy once and then use forever when it comes to your health. And they're quick, they're easy, but they pack a lot of punch. So let's talk for a moment about detoxification. Ayurveda teaches us detoxing is super important. Some people talk about it nowadays as like, oh, you need to lose weight, let's detox. Or in functional medicine, we talk about detoxing more because we know that people's bodies are polluted and full of toxins. Now, if you go to your Western medicine doctor, they might look at you like you're crazy because that's not a modern allopathic medicine thought process. I should know. I'm surrounded by doctors all the time. But when I go into my functional medicine world, my integrative medicine world, any of the Eastern practices and modalities, Ayurveda, Chinese medicine, the knowledge and wisdom was always there around, hey, the body is going to naturally get more toxic burden over time if we aren't regularly detoxing the body. And so Ayurveda says seasonal detox at the intersection of seasons is a phenomenal thing to do. And at a minimum, you're not required. You're not my child that I can require you. Not that my kids listen that much, but it is important and imperative that we all do one great detox annually. Now, what I love is when I go to big detox centers all over the world or in India, that's a real oil change. That's one of those like, let's get everything out. And whenever I've done Panchakarma, which is our Ayurvedic detox that we do, it is like, everything comes out of every orifice possible. And it's kind of gross, but it's very effective. Now, for you to not need such huge detoxes once a year, you can bring these practices that I'm going to talk about into your daily life or your weekly life, and then you're more supported overall. And then it's just easier. Then we don't have the level of toxic burden accumulation in the system because we're doing gentle daily detoxing, which is our topic for today. So let's talk about my top 5 Ayurvedic tools for this. When it comes to Ayurveda, we start with our morning rituals, and we call them dinacharya, the daily self-care rituals. And I teach these all the time because they're the foundation of tuning into your circadian rhythm, detoxing the body, balancing your dosha. You might have heard me talk about your elements and your elemental balance, which is your dosha. And then also it helps with balancing the body overall. Body, mind, and spirit in alignment is the goal of Ayurveda. Well, let's start with the first detox tool, and that is oil pulling. So let me know if you've heard of oil pulling. I guess this is a podcast, so you can't really let me know. We're not live with a comment box, but think about if you've heard of the word oil pulling. Lately, it's becoming more popular on TikTok because people are talking about it, how it's like this way that you can defy the dental world. We can take sovereignty over our own oral health, and then we don't have the same level of problems. Then we don't have to go to the dentist all the time for all the issues and pay so much to get our teeth fixed. So oil pulling is an ancient Ayurvedic tool where you take any food grade organic oil and you put that oil in your mouth for 5 to 20 minutes, about 2 tablespoons worth, 1 to 2 tablespoons, and you swish it around the mouth. So you can kind of keep it in different places for periods of time, but then you're going to want to move it through your teeth, through your gums. What oil pulling does is it helps to gently detox the body because it's pulling all the toxins and all the different things that accumulate in our mouth, bacteria, accumulates it all into that oil, which we then spit out, and we're getting rid of it. And we know that oral microbiome is tied to gut microbiome. We know our oral health, gingivitis, inflammation in the mouth is tied to our heart health. So how cool is it that 5,000 years ago, Ayurveda already knew that? And Ayurveda said, hey, focus on your mouth's health. It's really important. Also, Ayurveda said this thing communicates with your gut digestive fire. So having your oral health, your mouth health on point and clean and clear is a great way to support your gut health and the communication. Because when we eat, when we're chewing our food, the tastes of our food are giving signals from our mouth to our stomach saying, hey, this is the food she's consuming right now. She's eating all this protein. You better get ready down there with the right enzymes because you need to absorb all that. And so that's the signaling pathway that's cleaner and clearer because we're taking care of our mouth health overall. Now, there have been different studies that have been done on oil pulling, and I love quoting the science just because our scientific modern day minds sometimes needs additional proof. So a study that was published in the Journal of Ayurveda and Integrative Medicine found that oil pulling with sesame oil significantly reduced plaque and gingivitis in participants after 30 days. Another study indicated that it lowered counts of Streptococcus mutans, a common bacterium in the mouth that contributes to tooth decay. So when it comes to oil pulling, we know that it reduces that bacteria in the mouth. We know it improves that oral hygiene. It can help in reducing bad breath and gingivitis. And in Ayurveda, our favorite oil has always been sesame oil. So organic sesame oil, untoasted, is a really great solution. That's what I use from Ayurveda. But if you're like, I don't want to taste sesame oil, then you can reach into coconut oil or any other food grade oil that'll make you compliant, that you'll enjoy. And so that's fine as well. And if you go to Whole Foods, they sell a coconut oil for oil pulling in these little packets and things. But you can buy any oil and do this. So that's number 1, oil pulling. Number 2 is one of my favorites that I teach about all day long, and that's using a copper tongue scraper. Let me know, think through your mind. Have you ever heard of tongue scraping? Have you ever tried it? Some people buy toothbrushes that give you this ability to scrape the tongue. The thing is, Ayurveda would never have recommended plastic for this idea. In Ayurveda, we like ancient, beautiful, heavy metals. Heavy metals have beneficial properties. We know copper is antibacterial in nature, so it's like a almost self-cleaning tool, but I would recommend cleaning off your tongue scraper. But it's naturally antibacterial, which is great. And so when you use that copper tongue scraper, you gently scrape the tongue 7 to 14 times in the morning, or you can do it twice a day. When you're doing it in the morning, what we're teaching about is how it's igniting the digestive fire. We teach that all the organs of the body are reflected on the tongue, just like they're reflected on the bottom of your feet in reflexology. And so because of that, you're gently massaging all the organs, you're igniting the digestive fire. Detoxing everything is so important, right? So it's interesting that just detoxing the tongue detoxes the whole system. I think that's so cool. We know it removes bacteria, removes food debris, fungi, toxins, dead cells from the surface of the tongue. We know it improves the function of our taste buds, which is really cool. So your taste buds work better. You taste your food more. Thus, you could have more good food control over what you're eating. And copper tongue scraper is one option. Many people use a steel tongue scraper, also fine, just clean it a little better. I use a silver tongue scraper. I have a silver one from India that I bought decades ago. Still works beautifully. Silver is good for pitta dosha. I'm a fiery pitta, so it's cooling in impact. I'm equally fine with copper, silver, or steel, though. Copper is just the preferred choice out of Ayurveda. Now, science has shown us, research that was published in the Journal of Periodontology highlighted that tongue scraping twice daily can significantly reduce the presence of mutans, streptococci, same stuff, and lactobacilli in the mouth, which are associated with tooth decay and bad breath. So again, ancient principles, modern science is proving that these things are true. And we're going to see that more and more. Modern science in PubMed, in the journals, we're seeing so much science that gets published that says everything that Ayurvedic wisdom has been saying for 5,000 years. Ayurveda said gut is first. Gut is everything. Gut is your brain health. It's your mood. It's your immune system. It's everything. And now look, modern science is now saying your gut health is your microbiome. There's a gut-brain axis. 80% of the immune system, 70 to 80% is residing alongside the gut. Pay attention to what you're eating. It's not a trash compactor. And so isn't it also beautiful that the detoxing rituals are all oral health tied to gut microbiome health? So I just find that so cool. I'm like, yes, I get so excited about it. So those are the top 2 ways that I have for you to detox the body. Oil pulling, tongue scraping, simple ones. Here's a third one, pretty easy to do. It's called dry brushing. Dry brushing means you go out there and buy a dry brush. You can buy one at any health food store. You can even find them at TJ Maxx and things nowadays. It's basically a brush. You can buy the one with the long handle or the small handle. And you're going to gently massage the body in actually long strokes coming from your extremities in towards the heart. We know that we have a lymphatic system. And Ayurveda, thousands of years ago, said, listen, this system that you do not see is really important. It is your pathway to clean and clear your system. It's your garbage disposal. You better treat it right. Nowadays, we talk a little bit about lymphatic system, but we oftentimes forget to talk and think about our lymphatic system. We assume it's going to do its job beautifully. And what has happened? We've become more and more sedentary over time. We're not squatting in the fields and picking things. We're not squatting in our own gardens and farms. We're not doing as much manual labor or physical things. Yet somehow we expect the lymphatic system to do its job. And so what dry brushing is doing is gently allowing our lymphatic system, that was my alarm for tea time, it's allowing our lymphatic system to start to move and be supported in moving. So when it comes to dry brushing, you'll start with the feet, move upwards towards the heart. Whenever you hit a joint like your elbow or your knees, go in clockwise circles. On the stomach as well, clockwise circles. We don't want to interrupt circular cycles and processes in the body. But on any long extremities, you can use the dry brush in long lengths. Easy, simple, takes 5 minutes. So many women have picked up this habit and they're like, Shivani, that's my nightly ritual. I think of you every night. And in bed, I'm doing my dry brushing before sleep because I want to move my lymphatic system before I sleep according to my circadian clock. Because you've taught me that when I sleep in my circadian clock at night, my lymphatic system is going to clear. So why not get it moving and supported and channels open so it can do its job better? And I'm always like, yes, that is the whole point of me teaching what I teach. Because in the long run, if we're supporting the lymphatic system to detox and purge what it needs to, what are we going to have? A system that works better. Less traffic jams, as I call it, between our lymphatic system and inflammation in the system. And so think about that for your own body. Where can you bring dry brushing into your life? Some people have more time in the morning. I have kids who go to school. I've got no time in the morning. But my evening rituals time is my best time. I have some people who do this watching TV. They're like, I put all your self-care rituals in front of the TV on the couch. As I'm hanging out with my kids, I just wear shorts and a tank top and I do my self-care. I do my dry brushing. I teach them a Pyung massage and these things in my program. They're like, I get it all done. My skin looks phenomenal. You've changed my life. So there's a lot of different ways to incorporate these habits. But what's great about the dry brushing, it's got a lot of different benefits. One, it's going to help with that mechanical lymphatic drainage. It's going to help with skin exfoliation. We know that it promotes that blood flow and that lymphatic drainage that we want. A lot of people consider it really relaxing, like a really relaxing thing to do before bed, to kind of tune in, practice some self-care, and use it as one of their sleep hygiene rituals before bed. So that's number 3, detoxing through dry brushing. Number 4, warm lemon water. So here's the thing. Ayurveda said 5,000 years ago. Really, it's like 10,000. I always just say 5. Ayurveda said millennia ago, stop in the morning and hydrate before you do anything else. And it's interesting because Ayurveda said to take a cup, a copper-lined cup, put it alongside your bed, fill it with water the night before, allow it to remineralize from that copper, and then drink it in the morning. And that point of hydration is you rehydrating your cells. You're going to inspire peristalsis, which will create your first bowel movement of the day, which is mega important, not to be skipped. We're supposed to be on a cycle with that and on a regular rhythm with that. And that hydration matters before we start our morning tea, morning caffeine, and all the other things we do. Nowadays, a lot of times we wake up, run around, do what we're going to do, maybe poop or don't poop in the morning, and we go and caffeinate first. And so rewind that for a minute and maybe just bring in the habit of room temp water before caffeine. Option 1, door number 1. Option 2, door 2 is warm lemon water. So whether you have a tea kettle, I have one where I can just hit a button and it starts heating the water, or you set a kettle on the stove to heat that water or a pot. Taking water and warming it up and adding lemon has a lot of benefits to it. And I'm sure you've heard about the detoxing aspects of that. It's going to aid in your digestion. It's going to enhance the hydration. It'll support your liver function to detox the body. And we have studies that show this. So according to a study from the Institute of Health Biosciences at the University of Tokushima, the citric acid in lemon juice can improve our gastric acid secretion, which enhances our digestion. And another study notes the natural diuretic properties of lemon aid in the flushing of toxins from the body. So here's the thing. Lemon water, warm lemon water. Easy, inexpensive, simple. You can keep lemon right there ready in your fridge so it's easy to grab. In Ayurveda, we also love ginger lemon tea in the morning. So on the weekends when I have more time or if my gut is ever off because I ate out and I ate ingredients that just didn't serve me, my first solution the next day is heat up some water on the stove, cut up some ginger, throw it in there, put it in a teacup after it's cooked up and heated up and ready as a tea, and then add in lemon water. And all of a sudden, system settles. We know the benefits of ginger are anti-inflammatory. It lines the digestive system, helps reduce nausea, reduce any inflammation and system issues. Ginger is just phenomenal. So ginger lemon is also another option. It's also detoxing to the system. So really look at what's easy for you, what's going to keep you compliant, what you can do without too much stress or struggle. For me, I love my morning tea. Love it. Obsessed. So before I have my first cup of green jasmine tea, I just have my water with lemon right before that. So you can either heat it separately or build it together. A lot of times I'll just make both cups and I'll have the hot lemon water first and then I get to caffeinate. So whatever makes it easier for you. But it's not to be underestimated. Sometimes from Ayurveda, we're teaching the simplest habits and the simplest rituals. But oftentimes it's the simple things that move the needle the most. And so many of us are looking for the complicated, the big, the fancy, the hard, or we're looking for that pill that'll solve the problem. But it's the simple lifestyle rituals that add up to giving us the profound results that we want. And that's where Ayurveda teaches us all those profound tools that we can use on a daily basis to create a profound shift in our health. And that's my goal for all of you. Use these rituals, bring them into your life, and get those benefits that you deserve. So now let's talk about number 5, the easiest way to detox the body. That is number 5, and that is deep breathing. When it comes to breath, we underestimate how much we're breathing properly. And in Ayurveda and its sister science yoga, we talk about something called pranayama. Pranayama is deep breathing exercises. And those deep breathing exercises are things we can do every day. But do we do them? Do you ever pause in your day and take a deep breath? I know I don't. Most days I don't. Usually when I get in the car to pick up the kids, it's like, oh my gosh, what are the phone calls I haven't made? And then I'll say, you know what? No phone calls. How about you just breathe? And I'll play Snatam Kaur or any of the yoga music I love. And I'll just breathe. And I've had people on this podcast. Heather Marcus Berg teaches Buteyko breathing. She taught a breathing technique that was cool that I was using for a while. In Ayurveda, we teach about a lot of the different, I love Nadi Shuddhi as one of the breathing techniques, single nostril, deep breathing. So figure out what works for you. Easy, modern one, box breath. Box breath is a modern name for pranayama. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. Easy, easy, easy. Remember the benefits of actually breathing deeply. It reduces our stress. It improves our oxygen supply to our brain. It enhances our overall energy, and it helps detox us. And we know that a study published in the Journal of Clinical Diagnostic Research found that practicing deep breathing exercises could significantly lower cortisol levels, which are indicators of stress. And the research suggested that controlled deep breathing can enhance our parasympathetic nervous system, and it promotes relaxation and better digestion. So here's an easy way to fit this in. Wake up in the morning, set your intention for the day. From Ayurveda, I teach it as touch the ground, touch your forehead, and set an intention. Just the act of squatting to the ground is going to inspire peristalsis. How cool is that? And then start your deep breathing. Move through your morning with conscious breath. Let's say you forget it, because a lot of us are in a rush in the morning. Use your car time as your deep breathing time. You're in a car, crack the windows open, as long as you're not in a polluted place. Play some Zen music, deep breaths. Maybe it's a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. But it's going to drop you into your parasympathetic, retrain your nervous system to be in that mode more. Parasympathetic is rest and digest. We want to be in rest and digest, not in fight or flight all the time. Or take that time when you're eating. Maybe when you sit down to eat, you finally say, take a deep breath, settle in, drop into your parasympathetic so that what you're about to eat, you absorb. I've been practicing that. Eating and chewing consciously and taking a deep breath before my food so that I absorb it. I'm obsessed with food quality. If I'm not going to pay attention to it, I'm going to be on Facebook consuming content that keeps me in fight or flight. This food is not going to do what I want it to do. And then you wonder why you have nutrient deficiencies and health issues. So don't underestimate deep breathing. I know it sounds simple, but the simplest things can be the hardest ones to get us to do because we forget the value of them. So all of those are some great tools that you can use to detox your body. Detoxing daily accumulates into weekly. If you do 3 or 4 times a week, that's phenomenal. Monthly, quarterly. Then when you get to those quarter seasonal breaks and the annual detox, your body's going to be like, detox what? You already did it every day. I'm great. I'm good. I'm clean. And that's the goal. A system that is clean and flowing and moving beautifully, a lymphatic system that can support us because it's draining properly, a gut digestive fire that's so strong that when it gets food, it just metabolizes it, it absorbs all the nutrition and nourishment and easily excretes what doesn't belong. A system that's tuned beautifully, a nervous system that is tuned and ready for whatever comes at us and stays in the state of relaxation in all the moments when we're not really engaged. And then finally, beautiful sleep. I'll give you a bonus number 6. Sleep well. If you want to detox, sleeping is key. And so many people do not prioritize sleep. I'm obsessed with sleep because I teach circadian rhythm and sleep. And so over the years, I've developed teas and gummies, like whatever I can create for sleep, for phenomenal sleep, I do. Sleep hygiene. A lot of people come to me actually with sleep issues, and I love being an investigator and solving the sleep problems. Sleep is also a profound time of detoxification. We know that the lymphatic system can hold up to 3 pounds of waste that it accumulates throughout the year if we don't sleep on time. And the circadian clock says sleep from 10 to 2 on the circadian clock, and then of course get the rest of your sleep after that. So that's your bonus number 6. Focus on your sleep. That is a huge act of self-love because that's an investment in your next day's energy, your next day's brain capacity, your ability to focus, your energy to work out and move your body. Everything. It all comes from your ability to focus and sleep on time and sleep with a really high quality sleep that fuels you for the next day. So I hope you loved this episode today. I hope this was helpful to you. I would love to hear from you if you put these practices into place. I am on Instagram as @dr.ShivaniGupta. People DM me all the time. On YouTube, I love seeing the comments as well of, yes, I tongue scrape. Why were you recommending copper again? Asking me questions. I respond to those questions. My team literally texts me and goes, you have questions, and then I answer them. So I'm here to support you. If you're listening to this on audio, thank you for listening to my podcast. This podcast is an act of love. And this year, we're about to hit 100 episodes, and we're reconfiguring things. We're doing more solo episodes from me. Great guests are coming as well. Please like and subscribe to the podcast. Please leave a review. That helps us get this out there to people who need this wisdom. This is integrative alternative wisdom. I don't think of it as alternative. I think of it as ancestral, ancient wisdom that we all need so that we can build the health and vibrancy that we all deserve. So thanks for joining me on the Fusionary Health Podcast, and I'll see you next week.
Thanks for joining me for this episode. Check out our sponsor, Fusionary Formulas, the potent turmeric supplement used by doctors around the U.S. for patients with pain and inflammation. www.fusionaryformulas.com. I'm your host, Dr. Shivani Gupta. For more, visit shivanigupta.com. Subscribe to this podcast in Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Click the follow button or subscribe in any of the apps that you use. That's all I've got for you on the Fusionary Health Podcast this week. You have the power to transform your health and achieve vibrant health starting today.